Her husband died, and they almost put the wrong person in jail. 2001, Stacy Wallace was just 34 years old and a recent widow. You see, she had just lost her high school sweetheart, Michael, to a heart attack after they were together with each other for 20 years. While still struggling with the loss of her husband, she would actually meet this man right here, David Castor, who Stacy met through her boss. Stacy would say that David was the rock, the strength that she needed to keep herself together during a very difficult time. And in August of 2003, they would get married, combining their families. David had an adult son, and Stacy had two teenage daughters named Ashley and Bree. But the kids, especially Stacy's kids, took the marriage pretty rough. But I mean, like, what could you expect? They had just lost their dad, and 2 years later, now they have a new dad and now have to live with him. It also didn't help that David was pretty strict on the girls. Stacy would even admit that he almost expected them to listen to every single word he said and obey it without any question. Needless to say, the marriage was already off to a rocky start. On August 22nd, 2005, Stacy would call 911 frantic, saying that her husband hasn't left for work yet, won't even open the door, isn't responding back to her. Police get there and they ask her what's going on, and she says her and David just had an argument last night. He then just got a bottle of Southern whiskey, went into the bedroom and locked himself in. The last time that Stacy actually seen him was about 5 a.m. that Sunday. She said she wasn't worried because routinely she would go and check on the door and she would hear him snore, or he would respond back to her with like grunts or something. But when she put her ear to the door, she couldn't hear him snoring anymore. And when she kept calling out his name and banging on the door, he wasn't responding. Police, with Stacy's permission, kicked down the door and they found David dead. He was lying on the bed with two glasses on the nightstand right next to him, with a bottle of cranberry juice, alcohol, and in one of the glasses, some sort of green substance. Police would start investigating the room to find that underneath the bed was a bottle of antifreeze opened. Police told Stacy that her second husband was dead. She was absolutely devastated. She thought that she had found another happily ever after. You see, she said she knew that he was depressed, that he was going through a pretty rough time after his dad had just passed away, but she would have never imagined he would just take his own life. It was just uncharacteristic of him. As investigations would go on and police would search throughout the house to kind of gather any clue and gather information, they would actually go and look in the kitchen trash can and see that there was a turkey baster that reeked of alcohol. The lead detective immediately started to suspect foul play, but just couldn't prove it. Then the autopsy came back on David and showed that he had crystals all inside his body as a result of extended exposure to antifreeze. Someone was poisoning him. But